Do you feel anxious, hopeless, overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do but have zero motivation to actually do them? Are the dishes piling up on the sink or maybe clothes piling all over the floor? Has this been going on for more than 2 weeks? This could be depression. And the fact of the matter is, grad school students report having depression 6 times more often than the general population. It's a really important topic and we need to dive into it today. Hi, I'm Ashley. I have built a career as a strategist for some of the top companies in the world, and now I'm building a new one as a management scholar. I make videos about God goals in grad school, and now that I am in the thick of grad school, I have to say that this topic really hits home. I have been really working on trying to maintain my mental and physical health, and quite frankly, failing sometimes. Now that I'm starting to get my head a little bit above water, and frankly, now that I'm almost done with my second year, I want to share the techniques that have been helping me, the research behind some of them, and where you can find that for yourself. But before I do anything, I want you to know that you are not alone. And if you have any thoughts of self-harm or suicide, please get help now. If you're in the United States, you can call the number on your screen right now. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they speak English and Spanish. If you're not in the United States, look in the link below for resources in your country. It's just so important for you to get the help that you need so that you can make it through this. So with that, let me share what's been working for me. One of the things that I do to fight depression is what I have now learned is called productive procrastination. I didn't make this up. There's actual research on this, and I linked it in the description below. For students, there's 2 types of productive procrastination. There's the academic and the non-academic. So when it comes to productive procrastination on the academic side, it's like knowing that you have a deadline next week for a paper, but deciding to work on something that's due 3 months from now. The second type is non-academic productive procrastination. Spoiler alert, I'm doing it right now. This is when you are doing something that can help you in some way, shape, or form. It just doesn't have to do with school. This could be spending time cleaning out your closet, organizing papers, or working on YouTube videos to help people during tough times. It's something that helps build momentum, that gives you that confidence to be able to move on to the things that you need to do next. And I have some really good news. Compared to students who engaged in the classic procrastination, I'm talking about scrolling up and down the TikTok for hours on end, students who practice both academic and non-academic productive procrastination did not see their GPA suffer. I don't know about you, but I feel guilty sometimes about how I'm managing my time, and even though I'm able to get most of the things that I need to get done, I thought I had to be this machine who's always 100% on the core tasks at hand. And the fact of the matter is, if I didn't have these non-academic productive pursuits, I don't think I would make it. And that's just because it's really important to me to feel like I'm moving forward in things. It's really important to me to feel like I have variety. And I also think that being here with you is an extension of my purpose. And I don't really think I need to wait until I get a PhD to live that out. So now I've got research to support it. Second thing that's been helping me in the last few weeks is scripture. I'm pretty ashamed to say how much I'm surprised how well scripture works. The more I try to do life by myself, the more I realize that's just a horrible idea, because I have access to the source of ultimate power to be able to navigate this thing. Why? Why do I want to just navigate this by myself when I have someone who has all the answers? The only way to get those answers, though, is for me to read. Last week, I was exposed to a verse that gave me so much comfort that I really want to share with you right now. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. That is just exactly what I needed to hear when I got it, and I hope that helps you too. I feel the difference between when I am actually making dedicated time for the practice of reading scriptures and when I'm just going on with my day. Admittedly, sometimes I'm just like, I don't have time, so I'm just gonna go do this, but then that's me going off doing life by myself and realizing later that that's just a bad idea. The third thing I do is therapy. I am not one of those Christians who believe that God didn't create therapists. I think that we have tools on earth to help us navigate this life, and therapy has been a really important piece of my mental health practice. A lot of schools offer free resources for students. Look for a program called CAPS, which stands for Counseling and Psychological Services. This will give you the mental health resources you may need, including therapy, group sessions, and psychiatric medications as well. There's no shame in getting the help that you need. In fact, in order for us to really make it to our desired destinations, we need to make sure that we're prioritizing our physical and mental health. So the fourth thing that really helps me is Robin Arsone's 15-minute pop ride, specifically the one where it's all breakup songs. I'm talking about the classics. Alanis Morissette's You Ought to Know, Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood, even Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. The curation of this playlist, basically just gets a lot of rage out. And even though this is, I'm talking about depression, it's just really great to kind of emote, If you're anything like me, when you're in kind of a depressive state, the last thing you want to do is work out. But this is why I really love this one, because it's only 15 minutes. And I know exactly where it is. That is so important because it really removes the friction between bed and Peloton. It's really easy to get overwhelmed by which class am I gonna do or how much time I'm going to spend. Sometimes I can only do 15 minutes and 15 minutes is okay. Every single time I get off that bike, I feel better. You don't need any fancy equipment to get this boost. Research does support that exercise does reduce the effects of non-clinical depression. So get those endorphins moving, even if it's only for a few minutes. The last thing that really helps me is staying connected with people. It's really important for me to fight the urge to stay isolated. I don't know about you, but I sometimes feel like no one knows what I'm going through. I don't want to burden the people who do know what I'm going through. And I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to debrief the people who don't really understand. But I want to encourage you to fight that urge. I try to make a rule to never decline an invitation to meet with a friend. And that's just because there's just more to life than grad school. I don't want to say that I missed out on an amazing opportunity to make a real connection because I had a paper that I'll never see again. Just this last week, I was able to have a spontaneous dinner with a friend, and it was such a bright light in my week. It's so important to have a support system because they're there to encourage you, to guide you, and really help lift you up in those inevitable down moments. I hope to be one of those people, which is why I created these videos to help you along your grad school journey.